No tipping. The tip of the day. Just don't tip. Although I might need some tips to be able to help me find this trig point today. Hello and welcome. I am Rufus Gazelle and today we're on the hunt of a trig point. Ferndown Common Nature Reserve here in Dorset is the closest trig point to my homestead. So why not start and bag our first trig point with the closest one from home? Not sure how easy this is going to be to find. I got an Ordnance survey map to try and help me locate said trig point, the one that is closest to my homestead. So we're going to head off in that direction. Excuse the big dressing on my wrist. I'm just recovering from an operation last week to remove a couple of screws from a plate I had fitted due to a wrist break 5 months ago. So what better way than to get out and do some walking and get some exercise and try and keep the pressure off this wrist as much as possible. We're just leaving the main road behind us here, which is the main road from Ferndown, through Ferndown all the way into Longham and Poole itself. So this way is apparently where the trig point is located. So we're gonna try and find it. I'm not sure how hard this is going to be to find, whether it's under a load of shrubbery, whether it's covered. Not too sure if it's damaged in any way. To be honest, I'm new to all this. This is the first vlog that I've ever done in trying to bag my first trig point. Never really tried it before, and why not? So we've got a crossroads coming up, as you can see, left or right. So I think my intuition, and according to the map, we're going to head my left, which is down this way. So this trig point is numbered as 3140. I've got another crossroads here. I've got one going off in that direction and another one going off in that direction. So I've got a funny feeling I want to head in that direction. Don't hold me on it, but that's the way we're going to go, and that's the way my intuition is telling me to go. Let's just do it. So like I was saying before I got interrupted with another crossroads, or a junction, or back there, this trig point has got a waypoint or a number of TP, or that's trig point 3140, and the flush bracket number I believe is 2530, and the height of this trig point I believe is about 34 meters. I'm guessing above sea level. I'm not an expert, I'm new to this. I'm sure you guys will correct me if I'm wrong, but it's got a height of 34 meters. So we've got a gate. The gate is there with some houses roughly through those trees there, and another footpath leading off in this direction. Now, I want to explore. I don't want to head towards a built up area, so we're going to go this way, away from the gate and into the woods. So let's go and find this trig point. I hope you guys are enjoying this vlog or video log. I'm going to be hopefully covering all 103 trig points in Dorset. Now, I'm well aware that there are some trig points that are on private land. I'm going to ask permission where I can. Hopefully I won't get into any trouble. I'm going to do everything by the rule book as humanly possible, and we're going to just see how the adventure goes. I also know that some trig points have been destroyed. I know one for certain has, and that's up in Cerne Abbas. Now, I've done a little bit of research and I found out that a new water reservoir for the village of Cerne Abbas has been built and the trig point was demolished. But I know here in 2022 it's no longer there. Now, some rumours are there are some remains of the remnants of the trig pillar. Whether or not the flush bracket is still attached to a bit of concrete up there, I don't know. There's a wood, a coppice, that's some rocks and boulders and remains of something of concrete stature remains there. I'm not sure if it was part of the build or something else, but nonetheless, I know it's not there, but I will still document and go there so you guys don't have to. And that's the whole point, is whether it's there or it's not, whether I can get to it or whether I can get permission, I'm doing it so you guys don't have to do it. So it's going to be interesting, and it'll save you a job trying to find it if I've already tried to find it myself and I've done the research and I've actually found out it's been destroyed. But hey, it's all part of the adventure, and we're getting thicker and thicker into the wood, into the heathland of Ferndown here in Dorset, not far, a stone's throw from my home. And yes, this will become my first trig point that I bag, the first trig point that I ever come across. Although I probably have come across trig points before, but not really taken much notice of them. I just knew they were there. But this is something new, bagging as many trig points as I can around Dorset to start with. And then from there we will see how we get on. And I'm not joking, look how bushy and prickly this is. I mean, I ain't kidding. I've got shorts on, for Christ's sake. I mean, I've got walking shoes on, but I've got shorts on. And it's very prickly indeed. Just watch your legs through here as we meander through the wilderness of Ferndown Common. What a strange place. I mean, I know trig points can be located anywhere, but there's not really any sort of visible points from here. I mean, it's just literally heathland, greenery. How interesting. And like I've said before, I'm no expert on trig points. All I know is that from a trig point, they used to map areas, the country. There are over 6,000, I believe, don't hold me on that, trig points across the UK. And normally, from one trig point position, you can see in the distance from certain directions at least 2 other trig points. Now, how on earth are you meant to see any other trig points from this location? I know we're not quite there yet, but to me, I always thought trig points would be high up and with beautiful views, and you can see for miles around. And that was what I thought trig points were all about. You put a theodolite on the top of a trig point, and then you pan out to another trig point in the distance and measure and triangulate and map the area. How on earth are you meant to triangulate and find another trig point from Ferndown Common? Wow, so we've come out of the bushes. Maybe that wasn't quite, as you can see, I've got bits of leaves and all sorts all on me. Now, we've come out of that dense area. Maybe that wasn't the best route to take. Enjoyable, my legs are scratched to hell, but this looks a better option. It's more sandy. It looks like it's heading in the right direction. In that direction, that way. So hopefully in this direction, this way, is trig point 3140. Where exactly it is, I'm not too sure. I'm hoping it's sort of like off the side somewhere in one of these bushes, but we will come across it. So hopefully you will tune in, guys, to my vlogs. I'm bagging all these trig points. I'm not just going to stay in Dorset. Once I've done as many as I can in Dorset, I will be heading off to Wiltshire and Hampshire and Devon and Somerset and trying to find more as the days progress. But we're just going to stick with Dorset, which is my home county, and a very pretty county, gorgeous county, with the likes of the Jurassic coastline, the Purbex. I'm spoilt down here, and what better county to start bagging my trig points in? So I had to do this one. Not very scenic. Well, it is scenic. It's heathland. It's beautiful, but it's not going to offer massive amounts of scenic views from a hilltop. Hopefully others will, but this one I'm assuming will just be a trig point in and amongst heathland. We can't be much further now. So we got another decision to make. Another junction here. We got one that way and one going that way, and obviously the one that we've just come down. So decisions. I do have the online OS Ordnance survey map on my phone, but I'd like to try and find it on my own. That's part of the adventure. Some trig points are obvious. You can see it at the top of the hill and you just head in that direction. This one I think is going to be a bit more trickier, and I would like to try and find it on my own. I know it's in this area. I know it isn't far off a bridle way, a footpath, which is what I'm currently on. So yeah, let's just try and do it off our own back instead of seeking some sort of help. I'm wearing a black t-shirt, which probably isn't the best idea today, but hey. So we've come to another crossroads, yet another one. Yes, it just seems to be that way today. We've got 2 decisions to make. We stay on the main path or we veer off in that direction. Now, my hunch is telling me that the trig point is in that direction somewhere, over there, in there somewhere. If you ever try to come and find this trig point, then I'm not going to be able to direct you too well because it's just heathland and it's a maze. So I would just locate it on a map and just try and pinpoint it down as best you can. I'm just going on hunches here that we cannot be far away. Surely we're not. It's more decisions, look. Literally, I've just made a decision to come down that path, and yet we have another one that way and one that way. God, this is all part of the fun, isn't it? All part of the fun. This is why I've decided to do this. Not only does it get me out, give me the exercise that I really could do with, fresh air, I'm going to visit places that are on my doorstep that I've never been to. Never been to. How bizarre. And I'm looking forward to going across Dorset and trying to find more trig points, bagging myself more trig points and seeing places that I probably would never ever go to. And that's the whole point of this. Don't you agree? You're probably all watching this vlog right now thinking, is he not there yet? Christ, it's been like 15 minutes and already he's still walking through the undergrowth, through, yeah, as you can see, bushes trying to find this trig point. But it's the build up to finding this trig point. It's the adventure to finding this trig point. There's no point me starting this vlog here on YouTube and I'm there already at the trig point. I feel the adventure is trying to find it, getting there, going through all the ups and downs of trying to find the said trig point, whether it's through good or bad weather, through fields, fences, shrubbery. It's all part of the fun, and also doing it the right way. And that's hopefully what I'm going to do by sticking to the rules. Okay, so I may have taken a wrong turn. I've just been down that path, and that's the way we've just come. And I think this is the way that I need to go, through here. I had to reference my Ordnance survey map because I just felt like I was near it, but not quite there. And I was. I'm literally circling it, but I'm on the wrong path, I think. But I am literally circling it. Now, a lot of you will know what to look for on a Ordnance survey map when trying to locate a trig point. But for those who don't, which I'm sure isn't many, what you're looking for is a blue triangle with a dot in the middle, and that will reference said trig point that you're looking for. In our case, trig point 3140. So we've got to be here. We literally have to be close. We can't be far, but all I'm seeing is literally heathland. I mean, yeah, I know, I'm on a blimmin' heathland, I'm on a common, I'm on Ferndown Common. Of course, there's going to be heathland, but where on earth is this trig point? Okay, so this is getting interesting. I've just looked at the map again. I know I said I wouldn't and I would try and find it off my own back, but I was misinformed. I got told the trig point was just to the side of the footpath, one of these footpaths, literally like just off to the side, like down there somewhere, but it's not. And looking at the map, it's in the woods behind me, literally in there somewhere. So it's not off the bridle way. You have to venture into the heathland to try and find it, because it's not here. Literally, I've been going round the entire area in circles trying to find it, and the trig point is right bang in the middle of the heathland. Why was I misinformed? Why was I told it was literally off the bridle way? But here we go. I'm getting caught up on undergrowth. I'm stuck on a twig. I'm trying to squeeze through these trees in the hope that it's through here. Literally on the map it's saying it's literally through here. So let's see how good the map is. As you can see, the footpath is back there, and in front of us is literally, whoa, I'm falling down a hole. As you can see behind me, there's no footpaths, it's literally thick heathland. So let's have a little look. It's not over there. Found it! It's right behind me. There it is. Right in the trees, literally right in the trees, and there is no footpath directly in this vicinity. I've had to walk, what, 20 foot off the track to try and find it, and it's here. Ah, it hasn't been all for nothing. So here we have it, guys. Trig point 3140 in the centre of Ferndown Common Nature Reserve. Not a single bridleway, footpath within 20 foot of this. 20 to 30 foot, and you have to go through quite thick undergrowth. I came down through those trees. I think there's another footpath through those bushes over there somewhere. So yes, you will need a map to try and locate this or pinpoint it down, because it's well hidden. But here it is, guys. And that's where the theodolite would connect to, screw into, anchored down by these hooks, these anchor points here and one over there. But how on earth you're meant to see another trig point from here? At least 2 other trig points from this position, I do not know. I mean, yeah, there's just no chance. I'm sure back in the day, this trig point and this overgrown shrubbery that's around it wouldn't have been so dense back then. I'm sure back in the day this was pretty clear and open, and you could have seen other trig points from this location. But currently, at this moment in time, you have no chance. It really is thick ass. And we have the flush bracket. Here we go, guys. There's the flush bracket. S2530 Ordnance survey. Yes, Sierra 2530. There's the flush bracket, guys. And this is trig point 3140 with a flush bracket number of Sierra 2530. There we go. Ha! What an adventure that was. I'm not gonna lie, I've been absolutely scratched, and God knows what has attached itself to my body in terms of getting here. It's been fun. I'm hot. It's a hot day, and yeah, we finally found the flush bracket down here. Look, there we go. Sierra 2530. Man, that was fun. I tell you what, considering that's the closest trig point to my home, my homestead, that was an absolute pain in the backside to try and find. But we did, we got there. And we got absolutely strangled by all the trees and the bushes and scratched to hell. Now I think I'm probably going to go back the same way I came in, only because I know there's a footpath just down there. I don't know how far the footpaths are over there, but we'll go this way. And yeah, mission complete, I would say. And I'll tell you what, it's not in too bad a condition. If I was to give this a condition report or out of 10 scoring of how well preserved and how intact this trig point still is, I would have to give it a good 7 out of 10. Well, at least I know where it is now. I shouldn't have trouble finding it again. But hey, let's try and make our way back to the footpath without killing ourselves like that. That is one arse, one big arse of a hole. How I didn't see it though, I mean even just here, like 3 foot away from the trig point, you physically can't see it now. It's camouflaged, literally, in those trees. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Jeff. Well, there we go. So, if you ever come to Ferndown in the hunt for this said trig point 3140, then you have to take, ideally, this path that I'm on now. I have no idea how to explain where this path is, but if I zoom in to my Ordnance survey map now, you can see as I zoom in a bit closer, there's Ferndown Common. There's a little triangle where I am, my location, and you can see the blue triangle with the dot, which is the said trig point in question. And as you can see, I'm just below here at this location, and this is the footpath that you need to be on, and this is where I am now. And you sort of have to roughly get to about here where these trees are, and then just directly walk straight in for about 30 feet, and you should clap eyes on the trig point. Just keep looking to your right as you walk through there, and you'll see it in the bushes. But it's definitely not next to the bridleway itself. So if we walk back up here, I'll see if I can find a little bit more of an exact location to which footpath you need to be on. But to be honest, they all look the same. And I think it's just going to be a bit of common sense. And I'm sure anybody that's watching this that has interest in trig points, I'm sure you've got enough common sense to be able to use a map and locate it yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't have any interest in trig points or mapping at all anyway. You know what I mean? Right, so yes, this is where we came. Back at the junction, I believe that footpath pretty much takes you all the way back to the centre of Ferndown, if you stay on that said path. And then we came up here and I noticed we were quite a way off the mark, and I ended up going down this overgrown one which leads you to those trees. But if I was to walk up here, which is where I originally went, I imagine the trig point is literally just in there. It can't be far from where we are now. I'm just going to see if I can find it, but chances are I'm not. No. No. No, and I ain't gonna. I've had enough. I'm not getting brambled to hell anymore. It's in there. Trust me. You've seen it. You're just going to have to sort of use a map and a bit of common sense to try and find it yourselves. But it is there. I don't want to get bitten by any more ants or scratched by any more of these things. These things are lethal on your bare legs. Absolutely lethal. So, there we have it. Our first trig point is in the bag. Woohoo! My home trig point has been successfully found, and I really hope that future trig points aren't as hard as that. I'm sure they will be, especially if they've been destroyed and don't, no longer exist. But in terms of density and shrubbery, I hope it's not as bad as that. But it was worth it because the trig point itself was in fantastic condition. Like I said, I've given it a score rating of 7 out of 10. I don't know really how I'm going to judge that on. I mean, nothing's perfect, but it's not in bad condition in terms of there's not much damage to it. It probably can still be used if it had to be, and I think it's protected with the shrubbery around it from the elements, so that's probably helped it somewhat. So as we head back towards the start point here in Ferndown, I've just got to reflect on how much fun I've had trying to locate that trig point. I mean, this channel is all about me just going out and doing vlogs, adventures, this, that and the other. I'm going to concentrate on bagging as many trig points in Dorset as I can, but not only that, I'm going to be doing other things on this channel, and that will come apparent later on, things that you may also be interested in. But as of today, I am literally going to leave here in Ferndown and shoot across to, well, not shoot, I'm going to stick to the speed limits obviously. I'm going to shoot across to the other side of Poole and, yes, bag myself another trig point. So watch out for another video very, very soon after this. It will be coming quite quickly because, as I said, I'm about to go there now and do it. And more will be revealed a bit later on. So, yes, it's all so exciting. So all I've got left to say is thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, taking your time out and joining me on this adventure in bagging my first trig point here in Ferndown Dorset, my homestead. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been such an adventure trying to locate it, and I can't wait to go and do the next one. Go and hit the notification bell. Please go and subscribe, like the video, do whatever you've got to do, and join me next time. I am Rufus Gazelle. Cometh the hour, cometh the end. Vlog over.